All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about something that plagues almost every business out there, getting stuck in old habits. You know, that endless cycle of patching up systems and processes that, let's be honest, should have been thrown out years ago. Today, we're talking about how to stop paving those old cow paths for good. Ah, yes, the 6 most expensive words in business. We've always done it that way. You've heard it, I've heard it, we've all heard it. And honestly, it's probably the most dangerous phrase out there. It's the sound of innovation dying on the vine, of inefficiency getting baked right into the system. And that's exactly why we're here today. To unpack this, we've got to start with the basics. What are we even talking about when we say process? Okay, so let's get on the same page. The whole cowpath problem really starts with understanding what a business process even is. So, what is a business process? It sounds complicated, but it's really not. It's just how work gets done. Seriously, that's it. It's the sequence of steps you take to do anything, from taking a customer's order to getting a simple expense report approved. You can think of these processes as the DNA of your company, right? They're the hidden code that involves people, tech, and all the little rules that tie everything together. And here's where it all goes wrong. This is the core of our cow path problem. Imagine a path that cows wore into a field over decades. It's windy, it's inefficient, it makes no sense. Now, what do a lot of companies do? Instead of building a straight, modern highway, they just pave the cow path. They take a bad, messy process that just kind of happened over time, and they solidify it with technology. They automate the chaos. And that, my friends, is how you lock in inefficiency for a very, very long time. So, how do you know if you're stuck on one of these cow paths? I mean, are you paving one right now? Well, lucky for us, there are some pretty clear signs to look out for. Let's get real for a second. How do you actually spot one of these broken processes in the wild? What does it feel like day to day? Because trust me, the clues are usually right there in front of you. Okay, take a look at this. Do any of these sound familiar? I'm betting they do. We're talking about bottlenecks, where everything grinds to a halt waiting for one person. Or endless handoffs, where every time work moves to a new person, there's a chance for a mistake. Oh, and my personal favorite, data duplication. Entering the same exact information into 3 different systems. These aren't just little headaches. No. These are giant, flashing red lights telling you that the underlying process is broken. All right, so if your company is dealing with all that, bottlenecks, manual steps, the whole mess, a little tweak here and there just isn't going to cut it. You can't just slap a Band-Aid on this stuff. You need something more. You need a revolution. And that's where this idea of Business Process Reengineering, or BPR, comes in. Now, let's be super clear about what BPR is. The 2 words you absolutely have to remember here are fundamental and radical. This isn't about making small improvements. BPR is about taking your current process, looking it square in the eye, and throwing it out the window. It's about starting with a totally blank page and asking a powerful question. If we were building this company from scratch today, how would we do this? And this slide really hits the nail on the head. A lot of people mix up BPR with something called BPI, or Business Process Improvement, but they are worlds apart. BPI is evolutionary. It's about making small, gradual changes. A little faster here, a little cheaper there. BPR, that's revolutionary. It's a complete redesign. Think of it this way. BPI is like renovating your kitchen. BPR is like bulldozing the entire house and building a skyscraper in its place. Totally different games. And to put a number on it, just look at this. We're not talking about a 5 or 10% improvement. True BPR is aiming for something massive. We're talking about improvements of more than 60%. 60! In things like cost, speed, quality, you name it. It's high risk, sure, but it's an incredibly high reward strategy. You're not just making the old thing better. You're creating something brand new that is just fundamentally better. Okay, so you're probably thinking, a radical redesign sounds great, but how on earth do you actually pull that off? Well, for a change this big, you need a seriously powerful tool. And these days, that tool is almost always an ERP system. So to really get why an ERP is such a game changer, you have to see the before picture. And this is it. This is total chaos. You've got sales with its system, accounting with its system, manufacturing with theirs, all these little islands of information, these silos that don't talk to each other. Everyone has their own version of the truth, which means nobody has the real truth. It's a mess. And then along comes the ERP. And look at that. It just blows up all those silos. Instead of a tangled mess, everything now connects to one central system, one single database. Suddenly, everyone in the company, from sales to finance to the warehouse floor, is looking at the exact same information. You finally have one single source of truth. It changes everything. So, now we have these two big ideas on the table: the need for a radical redesign and this incredibly powerful tool, the ERP. Let's talk about how they come together, because this is where the magic really happens. When it comes to reengineering, you've really got two main options. You could go for the clean slate approach, literally starting from a blank whiteboard. Super creative, right? But also super risky. You might invent something amazing, or you might invent something that totally fails. The other path, which is way more common, is to let technology guide you. You basically leverage the best practices that are already built into a modern ERP system. And here's how that actually works. It's a three-step dance. First, you pick an ERP system that has all these world-class, best practice processes already baked in. Second, you use that system as your blueprint. It shows you what a great process looks like. And third, and this is the most important part, you change your company to match the system, not the other way around. If you just install the software and try to make it work like your old messy process, well, you're right back to paving the cow path. The goal is to let the ERP transform you.
All right, let's wrap this up and get to the real bottom line here, because it's about so much more than just software.
So what are the big takeaways here? First, those old cow paths, your outdated processes, are actively holding you back. You gotta see them for what they are. Second, remember that BPR is a revolution, not an evolution. It's about radical change. Third, ERP systems are your ultimate silo busters, giving you that one source of truth. But the main point, the one thing to really take away, is that true transformation happens when you use that ERP to force a redesign of your business, not just to automate your old bad habits. So I'll leave you with this one question to chew on. Think about your own job, your own company. What are the cow paths that you walk every single day? What inefficient, winding, frustrating processes is your organization still paving over just because, well, that's how we've always done it? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.